Yeah, it's 3:33, so much for my 3 days of doing it at 7:44. I actually got better sleep last night. Except for a brief awakening at about 3 hours, I might have gotten a little over four, which is very unusual of late, where I've been getting probably less than 2 hours at a time. Anyway, the video for today, the title is Healing Our Psychopathic Shadow is a Must. For many people, facing our bad feelings and telling the truth when it goes against the grain is often avoided and even denied. That, to me, is why the shadow persists, both individually and collectively. We dare not say the emperor has no clothes, since that is deemed inappropriate. Well, let's face it, in our time, the emperor, our personal and collective ego, has been revealed big time. We can no longer avoid and deny the ugly truth of how we have misused our freedom. Neither can we go on denying how much freedom scares the hell out of us. How do we heal the shadow? Could it really be as easy as recognizing it as ours and telling the truth about it? That may not be the entire process, but I'm sure it's the place to begin. I watched a video yesterday, and I'm looking at the image of it now, but it doesn't have the guy's name. I've watched him before. The title of his video, and I'm probably not going to put it in. You'll have to Google with the title. It's a YouTube video. You want to know God? Feel and heal your fucking shadow. And that's the actual title. And the last two words are all capitalized. The others are upper and lowercase. I know the guy. I just can't remember his name right now. I'm looking at his image, but I can't remember his name. But he's absolutely right on. Last night I was at a love line, and I had skipped the love line a month ago and did not go to it. But I was at this one, and there was one individual there that was there for the first time. I'd never done a love line before. And when she shared her experience of facing off with me, she said, I had the sense that I was looking at your pain and that you were seeing my pain. And she didn't know any of the dynamics of workshops, our workshop, or the emotional healing work that we do. She had no clue. She was there for the first time. The person who invited her had only met her yesterday. And so it was that quick a thing. I mean, there was no preliminary prompting of what we were about or anything, but she hit the nail right on the head. Now, I know people like Eckhart Tolle and other spiritual teachers tell us that we're not supposed to connect at the pain body level, because that's just not where it's done. We have to collect not on, or focus not on where it hurts, but where our vision of what we want to be is. Well, I think that's really bad spiritual advice, quite honestly. Really, really bad spiritual advice. To me, connecting at the level of our wounded inner child, our pain body, or whatever term you want to apply to the area where we've been wounded and hurt, and the area where we feel most insecure, and the area where we feel naked and vulnerable. That's exactly the area where we need to find intimacy with other people to be able to tell the truth. Now, my truth is that since two things have greatly impacted and revealed other layers of my shadow, which are not new. They're just parts that are still uncertain for me. And that, of course, is the area where the lawsuit hit and my home was once again threatened, this time with my family involved, which had never been the issue before. That caused great fear to come up in me, because I know I'm dealing with a court that has ignored everything I've ever done in the past, as if it didn't even exist, as if those rulings and those decisions that were made in regard to my home in the past, none of that matters to them. Nothing that I've ever done makes a bit of difference. And I've talked to people who have had SWAT teams come to their house and remove them forcibly from their house. I've heard the stories. I've known some of the people that have been forced out of their homes. Now, I think most of them had a mortgage. I've never even had a mortgage on this house. Never. Never. Never once. I didn't even have a mortgage. But in any case, that created a huge amount of insecurity for me. A huge amount, because I'm not giving up my house to anybody. They're going to have to kill me to take it. And now I've got grandchildren and a son and a daughter and a son-in-law that live here with me. This is a real issue. And then the other issue was, of course, the issues with Swiss Indo. And I'm not going to go into details on any of that, except to say that, again, that which had presented me with great promise and great hope is being detained by something. Someone is holding it up. It's not Mr. Sino. It's not Mr. Sugi. It's something different than that. And I get so frustrated, and it's so hurtful to me to not be able to get so close to accomplishing something and then to have to go backwards and rehash some of the same old dark feelings again that I thought I'd already dealt with in the past. And the way that I'm dealing with it, I want you to look at it the way that I'm dealing with it. I'm telling the truth about it. They are my feelings. These are my insecurities. This is my shadow that I'm exposing and allowing myself to be vulnerable. And I'm doing it to the whole world, to anybody that wants to listen. But in Love Lines, I also do it with individuals in my world. And that may not always be the support that I want, but it's the support that I've had available to me for a long time, actually, because I've been involved in the emotional healing workshops for 20 years. And it's not something that's a novelty to me. It's something that's been ongoing in my life for a long time. But folks, as we look at the world, and this I need to see, this we all need to see, the world is a reflection of how we've been playing the game of life. How have we been doing it? Well, we've got these people sitting at the top in the ivory towers, so to speak, making rules for everybody else that they themselves don't follow, trying to secure their malevolence as best they can. And it is malevolence, although they may not perceive it as malevolence from the outside. Looking at them, of course it's malevolence. They're psychopaths, they're sociopaths, they're doing insane things. But every one of us in our personal lives has done insane things. And we've tried to hide the hurt and protect the dark areas of our lives. No, that's not me. We've put on the happy face. We've worn the smiles. We've put the masks on. We've put our armor on to protect us from being discovered. And that's what national security is. It's all about protecting the criminals from being discovered by the people of the world, because there's only a few of them and there's many of us. And if we ever find out what they have done, their gig is up. Their game is over. And they know that. They know that. And the ego knows that too in our personal lives. If we allow the true self, the love part of us, the part of us that wants to be whole. If we allow that part to look at the wounded part will be healed. In other words, the game of hiding, the game of denying, the game of avoidance is over. And I wish I could remember this guy's name. I probably should start the video, but I don't want to do that. Let me just see if it has his name. If I click on the actual link that has his name.
Now here's the thing. Why does he do that? They helped him build the temple, by the way.
All right, let's see. Oh, Tobias Lars is his name. Okay, that's right. I had watched some of his videos before, and this one's very plain spoken, and he almost didn't want to put it up because of the title. Or feel and heal your fucking shadow. Yeah. Plain talk. We've been taught propriety. Well, we've got to screw propriety. We've got to get really down and out honest with ourselves. We've got to be down and out honest that our leaders are only revealing back to us. They are only mirroring back to us the way that we've run our individual lives. Trying to hide all the bad stuff. Trying to put on a happy face. Trying to put our best foot forward. Trying to convince people that we're not really as bad as we think deep down inside we are. And we've done it again and again, lifetime after lifetime, again and again. And where's it gotten us? Where's it gotten us? Look at the world that we live in. It's insane. Have we not been insane? Have we not, in our human journey, employed some of the same things that we decry in others? We want to spy on everybody else so we can feel better about ourselves because we can dig up some dirt on somebody else. Is that not what they do with the NSA program? Trying to find out any little thing that they can use against us. It's not even the reading of the Miranda rights. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Isn't that the world we've lived in? Isn't that what the ego does? Anything you say can and will be used against you. And we go through life always feeling like everything is against us. I know, because that's what I feel too. Like the whole world is against me. Like I'm standing all alone. Like I don't get the support where I'm hurting the most, and that's where I need it the most. And I'm taught that, well, God can't love you if you're vibrating at that low level. That's Abraham's teaching, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's the area that when we're vibrating, we've got to be honest about it. Not deny it, not turn our heads away from it, not try to avoid it, not pretend it's something else. We've got to get real. If we don't get real, we don't get healed. Because getting real is the process of healing. Getting to the place where we're willing to say, okay, I give up. I'm not going to try to cover this up anymore. This is the dirt of the plain dirt of how I feel. This is the muck of it. This is the bottom line. I'm bottom lining it for you. I hurt. I'm insecure. I want to feel safe, and I don't feel safe. I want to be able to just stop holding up all this armor because it's heavy, and stop hiding behind this mask because it's, even though it looks pretty on the outside, I'm seeing the inside of it, and it ain't so pretty looking at it from this side. And it's time. I'm just not going to play that game anymore. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to get real. And that's what we all need to do. We need to get real because we're about to heal this world. And we do it by healing the shadow. It's our shadow. The government is our government. our mind control system that we've put in place to try to control our thoughts so that we, God forbid, we don't want to have negative thoughts. So we try to control our thoughts and only present the good side. And then we try to cover up, and that's our national security for ourself. Bien. That's why we have the problems that we have. That's why the world is the way it is. Do we see it yet? Do we get it yet? Are we tired enough yet to do it the only way that will possibly ever get better? And that is by telling the truth on ourselves, letting our skeletons out of the closet and being absolutely authentically honest with ourselves and with each other. Will that not transform our lives individually and collectively? I believe it's an essential part of the process. And it's the process that many of us are undergoing because we want to make a world that works for us and for everybody else. Because a world that just works for us individually at someone else's expense is the world that we've lived in. It's a false world of competition when we need cooperation with each other. Thank you for listening to the things that I've shared today, and I trust you'll have a good day. Namaste.